Yes, what's on your mind? You got it.
How can I help? Then I suggest we move on.
Master Jar tells me you have successfully completed the tests, and I even see you have constructed your own lightsaber. You should be proud of your accomplishment, but never forget that you still have much to learn. As your power grows, you will constantly face temptations to slip to the dark side. This is the eternal struggle of the Jedi.
I do not know what the Council has in store for me, but I will trust in the Force and the way of the Jedi to help me through whatever is to come.
Good day to you. I'm afraid I cannot speak to you at the moment.
Tombatoras Magdelia, Ashuta, Rundi Hautonga Tonki, La Run Chibeduanani Bobo, Akut, Rundi Ha.
It is relaxing to come outside and enjoy the fresh air once in a while.
Huh? Oh, sorry. I was thinking about Terrace. I still can't believe it's gone. I mean, I grew up there and now it's just gone. I don't really think there's anything you can say. I just have to find some way to deal with it, I guess. It'll take some time. Look, I'm not saying I can't go on or anything like that. It's just, it's a shock, you know? I mean, I knew the Sith were evil and all, but the reality of it kind of slaps you in the face. But I suppose that's why we need to stop Malak, right? The more time I spend dwelling on Terrace, the more chance some other planet will get wiped out. I guess that's what it comes down to. So don't worry about me. I'll be okay. And if you need my help against Malak or the Sith, I'll be there for you.
Yeah, what do you want? I don't have as many strange stories like the last one I told you, but I do have a couple about me and the stuff I've done. In one battle above the world of Althir, my unit managed to defeat a force of Althiri 10 times our own size. That battle gained me command of an entire subsect of my clan. For 5 days, they had managed to hold off our forces, keeping us to the outer rings of their world, preventing us from attacking it directly. My task was to assault one of their flanks with a false attack. The Althiri would be drawn out by the units I had sent in. Once they had surrounded those units, the bulk of my forces would attack from the rear and defeat them in detail. Things didn't go as I had planned. I saw an opening, a mistake they had made in the disposition of their forces, and took it. While fending off our main force, they had let their fleet split in two. The center of their entire fleet was left exposed. I turned my forces and assaulted the center of their fleet, decimating them. This is a chance given to a warrior once or twice in a lifetime. The chance to change the course of history in a single act. Their slow, ponderous ship could not turn to face us without being overwhelmed. The command vessels were destroyed in seconds. Their ranks were thrown into chaos. It was amusing to watch the surviving ships scatter and flee. Several even tried to dive through the plane of the rings to escape us. They were shredded by the rings, or crashed into rocks, or were destroyed by our forces as we pursued them. Warriors do not flee from a battle if they are losing. They fight to the end, as we did against your Jedi Revan. Another time, maybe, I'll tell you about how the war with the Republic went. For now, let's just get on with things. Is there something else you want to know? Stimulants make a warrior out of even the weakest human. Here's a speed-boosting stimulant to help you get quicker. There anything else you need? I think I'll tell you a bit about the recent war we had with the Republic. That might be more familiar to you. The one where Jedi Revan beat my people. We started by conquering worlds outside the Republic. We did it quietly so the Republic wouldn't really know what was going on until it was too late. When we finally did hit the Republic worlds, they had no idea we were coming. We came in through 3 invasion corridors in adjacent sectors. Anyone who put up a fight, or wouldn't fight, was crushed. We razed whole worlds trying to provoke the Republic into fighting us. I don't particularly enjoy wiping out worlds for its own sake, but the cowardly tactics the Republic defenders used left us little choice. Hiding in the homes of civilians, using families as shields, thinking we would not use appropriate force on their bases inside major cities. They underestimated our resolve, and what measures are acceptable in war. Those who cannot defend themselves should not be around those who can in battle. If annihilating a city is the kind of power it takes to overwhelm a Republic shield device, then that's what we did. Necessary force to destroy all opposition. I have no time or patience for cowards. They deserve to be hunted down and exterminated like vermin. There was no honor in wiping them out like rats. But some of your forces did redeem the Republic in our eyes, especially later. Later, when Revan had joined the war. But we'll get back to that. We've wasted too much time already. Is there something else you want to know? Hey, don't worry. I think you've got enough there as it is. You don't want to overload yourself on stims. Otherwise, you might destroy your adrenal system. A real warrior knows his own limits and doesn't overestimate himself. There anything else you need? We fought against the Republic forces for some time, over the course of many battles. At the start, they were not much of a threat to speak of. But once the Jedi Revan took charge, things began to turn against us. The Republic fleets began to use more than just basic tactics. Feints, counterattacks, mass deceptions. Revan was a genius on the field. Revan abandoned worlds of their defenders so that others would be too fortified to strike, and was willing to make sacrifices in order to advance goals. And in the end, Revan proved too much for us. The Sith had gone, retreated into their empire. They sealed themselves off from the rest of the galaxy. We thought it would be centuries before they'd come back. It's amazing that they could rebuild their fleet so fast. But at the time, it looked like the galaxy was in our grasp. I still remember that final battle in the skies above Malachor 5. The 2 fleets filling the space around it, outshining the stars. Yeah, we lost. But there is no shame in it. We lost to the greatest single warrior the Republic has ever known. It was not your ships, or your men, or your vaunted fight for freedom that won this, the final battle of the war. It was by the actions of one person, the Jedi Revan, that you prevailed. His strategies and tactics defeated the best of us. Even Mandalore himself was taken aback by the ferocity of his attacks, the tenacity of his defenses, and the subtleties of his plans. He fought us to a standstill, and then began pushing back. We really didn't have a chance. It was what we had wanted all along, in a way. We wanted to fight the best, in a battle that would be remembered for centuries. And we did. And Revan won. I don't hold a grudge against Revan, and neither do any of my people. It was the greatest moment of my life to be in that battle. If Revan had been a Mandalorian, nothing in the galaxy would have stopped us. But wishing for the past to be different is useless. Better look to the future, as we should now. We'll talk more later, I think. Is there something else you want to know? Your choice.
No problem. Didn't work. Yes, what's on your mind? You got it.
How can I help? Then I suggest we move on.
Hey there, what can I do for you? I'm sorry for the way I acted before. It's just that when it comes to Lena, I tend to get a little worked up. My brother and me had a good thing going. Sure, Griff had his run-ins with the law on Terrace, but we got by okay, until Lena came and ruined everything. She was a dancer at the cantina where my brother used to go play Pazik. Griff could be a real smooth talker, and it wasn't long before the two of them were dating. But Lena was used to dating rich Teresian nobles, guys with mountains of credits. Griff could never give her the lifestyle she was used to, no matter how hard he worked. I'm not gonna pretend Griff wasn't a hustler and a con artist, but that doesn't mean you can just insult him. He did what he did to look out for me. I thought Lena would brush Griff off when she saw how poor he was, but for some reason, she stuck around. I guess she saw the potential for a big payday down the road. I saw Lena for what she really was, a busty, credit-grubbing cantina rat. She used Griff and took away the only family I had. After they'd been together for a few months, Griff told me he was leaving Terrace. He and Lena were gonna try and make their fortune off-world. He promised as soon as he made enough credits he'd come back and get me, and we'd all live like royalty. That was 2 years ago. I haven't seen him since. I don't even know where he went. Oh, I know what happened. As soon as she got him off Terrace, Lena sunk her claws into Griff but good. She twisted him around her little finger and made him forget all about me. I know I'll probably never see Griff again. But part of the reason I came with you was the hope that I could find out what happened to my brother. Don't worry. I won't let the search for Griff get in the way of what we're doing. Let's just get back to the task at hand. Is there anything else I can help you with? Okay. Hey there. No problem. Just so happens I've got one here I've been working on. Here you go. I'll just add it to our inventory. Anything else you need? No problem. 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 Anything else you need? Sorry, I don't have one handy right now. Besides, we've got plenty of security spikes already. Not much point in overloading on them, is there?
Mission, is that you? It's me, Lena, remember? I was dating your brother back on Terrace.
Lena? What are you doing here? Where's Griff?
I'm just passing through. Griff and I broke up a few months after we left Terrace together. Probably for the best. Your brother can be charming, Mission, but he's bad news.
Don't you start trashing my brother, you cantina rat! Take that back or I'll smack you so hard your head tails will pop off!
Mission, what's wrong with you? Why are you acting this way? Yeah, I know how she feels. Griff can be pretty frustrating. I guess that's why Mission didn't want to come with us when we left Terrace.
You liar! Griff told me that you didn't want his little sister tagging along. That's why he had to leave me behind.
Is that what the hut spawn told you? I wanted you to come with us, Mission. I even offered to pay for your ticket. Why not? I paid for everything else while I was with that freeloader. But he told me you didn't want to leave Terrace. I said we shouldn't even go then. But he said we'd come back and get you after we struck it rich on Tatooine. Just another one of his lies.
No, you're the one who's lying. Griff wouldn't... He wouldn't try to leave me behind.
Think about it. If Griff wasn't trying to ditch your mission, then why didn't he tell you where we were going? After we left Terrace, he told me looking after you was holding him back. Griff's always looking to blame other people for his own problems. That's why he abandoned you. He did the same thing to me too. As soon as I ran out of money, he started blaming me for all of his problems. Like it's my fault his get-rich-quick schemes never work out. Hey, if you want to talk to Griff, go ahead. Last I heard he was going to make a fortune working the Zerka Corp mines on Tatooine. But as far as I'm concerned, he's out of my life forever.
Griff's better off without you anyway, you table-dancing, brother-stealing home wrecker.
I guess that's my cue to leave then. I didn't mean to upset you, Mission. But one day you'll see I'm right about your brother. I only hope it's not too late by then.
Hey there, what can I do for you? Don't tell me you believe Lena's lies. Griff might be working as a miner on Tatooine, but the rest of her story is Bantha Poodoo. You can't trust someone like her. At least Griff's free of her clutches. I'd like to go speak to the Zerka Corp rep on Tatooine if we have time. Maybe I can arrange to see my brother again. I just hope he's not in any kind of trouble when we do.
Yeah, what do you want? The war we had with the Republic was supposed to be the most glorious battle in our history. But it was a very costly one. I guess we didn't think of how much we could lose in it. There weren't many of us after that last battle. Mandalore himself was killed at the hands of the Jedi Revan. The best of us could not defeat him. After that last battle, those of us that survived were stripped of our weapons, our armor, and our basilisks. Revan's forces destroyed them while we were forced to watch. Those who hadn't fled earlier were left with nothing to call their own. No weapons, no armor, only the honor of having fought in the battle we just lost. For many, this was not enough. While the rest of us were sent into exile on the Outer Rim, they tried to relive the old days, raiding worlds. They're nothing more than bandits now. Yeah, I found word on Terrace. And forcing for Davik was not stimulating. The gangs on Terrace and Davik's rivals were trash. They give no thrill in battle, no honor or glory in defeating them. It was like stepping on bugs. I sought worthy challenges, but the best that Terrace could offer were nothing to me. But I think now, with you, I may finally find opponents worth fighting. Maybe later I'll tell you more about what it was like to work for Davik. For now, though, we should get on with our lives. Is there something else you want to know? From what we saw from space, this world doesn't have a lot of people. I couldn't really have found much work here anyway, so I never had an interest. It looks like a farm world. The Republic has thousands of these places. Ones that get by farming crops and hunting herds of native beasts. But I might have underestimated this place. It seems to be more than I thought. Do you have anything else you want to ask? Your choice. Yeah, what do you want? Your choice.
How can I help? Then I...
Yes, what's on your mind? You got it.
Ah, so we meet again, Canderous. It has been quite a long time.
Joggy? He was a warrior under my command up to the Battle of Althir. But I thought...
You thought I was dead, didn't you? You thought all of us that you had sent on that attack had perished. You sent us to die in a foolish attack, while you directed your forces elsewhere. You broke from the battle plan and let us die for it, so that you could have the honor of being the first to kill the enemy commander. I alone realized what was happening, and managed to escape the trap before it closed. The trap he set for his own men.
I did what was prudent at the time. If I had not done it, the battle would have...
The battle would have been won anyway. I am tired of your excuses, Canderous. I have spent years tracking you down since the clans were banished, and I will not rest until I've had my vengeance. I am not afraid of you, and if you choose, you can die by his side as well. I challenge you, Canderous. I challenge you to fight the fight you fled that day above Althir, in the dune seas of Tatooine. I will be waiting for you. I have spread the news of the challenge since I learned you had landed on this world. All the surviving Mandalorian clans know of what I do here, and that we shall meet on Tatooine to settle this debt of vengeance once and for all. If you fail to meet me there, you shall be stripped of all honor and forever cast out of our society. It will be you and me alone in the dune seas of Tatooine. A final battle that can only end in death. I shall be waiting for you there, Canderous.
I've been given a challenge I can't ignore. We've got to go to the dune seas of Tatooine, so I can find Jagi and kill him for his insult to me. This is between me and Jagi. You don't have to get involved. If you're lucky, he might spill something before I spread him in a paste over the dunes.
Ready?
I'm here.
Yes?
Dantooine is one of our last refuges.
Have you found the Mandalorian raiders yet? Good. Good. Put them down like the animals they are. But now that you've killed some of them, they won't stop until you've defeated their leader. You must find him and kill him too. Thank you, young Jedi.
Yes, what's on your mind? You got it.
How can I help? Then I suggest we move on.
Sharky King Watawa Mulira. Yula Lipa Ak Inkokun. Da.
I think the droid is trying to communicate with us by cycling through a variety of languages. Each time it spoke, it was using a very different alien dialect. The droid can probably understand us. The only problem is it may not have been programmed with the phonemes of a language we can understand. I recognize this language as well. It's an archaic variant of the Selkath dialect spoken on Manaan. But why would a droid on Dantooine be programmed to speak ancient Selkath? It must be referring to Revan. The Dark Lord and Malak likely encountered this droid when they explored these ruins. The droid is obviously not programmed with the knowledge we seek. The Starforge sounds like some type of weapon, perhaps. Though in fact, it could be anything. Maybe. That might explain how the Sith were able to amass a fleet so quickly. But I suspect the Starforge is more powerful than a mere factory. Maybe the droid has more information we can use. It seems to respond to you. Perhaps you should ask it something else. These builders must have been an extinct people. Though it is strange, there's no record of their existence. Even the archives of the Jedi Academy make no mention of them. In the years before the Republic, the Hutts were a dominant force in the galaxy, but they never constructed an empire. In fact, I know of no species that would fit with this information. Ten revolutions would take more than 20,000 years. If this is true, then this droid is nearly 5,000 years older than the Republic itself. There must be some mistake. The droid must be talking about poor Nemo. The Council sent him here to investigate, and it cost him his life. Revan and Malak unlocked the sealed door and uncovered the secrets of the Starforge. Now Malak is using the Starforge to fuel his conquest of the Republic. We have to find out what they uncovered. We have to find a way to unseal these doors to learn more about the Starforge. The Republic is depending on us.
What? Yes?
Yes?
That hurt, I bet. That hurt yet.
Down you go!
How you like that?
Down you go!
What can I do?
Uh-huh. Yes?
How can I help? Dantooine is a peaceful and pastoral planet. There are a few large communities. Mostly what you will find here are ranchers and farmers. I find it a tranquil place like few in the galaxy. The perfect site for the Jedi Enclave. You will like it here. Then I suggest we move on. Yes? What can I do?
Ready.
You asked for this! Down you go!
This must be what Revan and Malak found when they entered this temple. This must be where their journey down the dark side began. This is a map. Some sort of intergalactic navigational chart. Revan and Malik must have used this to lead them to the Starforge. We could use this map to follow their path and find the Starforge ourselves, but we must be wary. They may have laid traps or concealed what they found. I don't know, but Revan and Malik were very interested in finding it. It must be a tool of some type, or maybe a weapon. Perhaps the Council can tell us more, but I think this map might be the key to finding the Starforge, whatever it is. See this world here? This looks like Korriban, a Sith world. And if that's Korriban, then this is Kashyyyk, and Tatooine, and here's Manan. But there are pieces missing. Incomplete hyperspace coordinates, corrupted data, and there doesn't seem to be anything indicating where the Starforge itself might be. I was thinking that too. This map can't take us to the Starforge, but I know that Revan and Malik visited Korriban at least once. Perhaps they discovered something more there. They may have found something on each of the other worlds that completed this map. Maybe if we find all the pieces, they'll lead us to the Starforge, and some way to destroy it.
That sounds like quite a supposition. What if you're wrong?
What if I'm right? We can't ignore this. Finding the Starforge might very well be the key to defeating the Sith. We must inform the Council of what we've discovered. They must decide our next course of action, though I suspect our task has only just begun.
Yes, what's on your mind? Have I been quiet? Suppose I have. I guess I just don't like being left out of the loop. Left out of the loop, you know, not being told anything, strung along. It's really starting to irritate me. For one thing, I want to know what the Jedi Council said to you. They pulled you in there and refused to tell me a thing about it. I'm rather curious to know what went on, and why they didn't keep you on Dantooine for training. Isn't that strange? I'd be more than happy to, but she's as closed-mouthed as the rest of the Council. I'm hoping you'll be the one to enlighten me. I may not know much about the Jedi, but I do know they aren't famous for taking on old Padawans and sending them on dangerous assignments. A bond? What kind of bond? You mean to say that they told you that you were tied to Bastila in some way? I have trouble believing that. You're a neophyte Padawan who's been saddled with the responsibility of tracking down these star maps. Why? That's not normal. I am not trying to provoke you or to imply that you're somehow responsible for the Jedi Council, but give me a hand here. There has to be a reason. No, I didn't mean that you weren't wanted or that I want to go. It's just... Damn it. Well, I'll tell you this much. I'm not going to wait around until I'm betrayed again. Yeah, we'll just see about that, won't we? Look, I didn't mean it that way. I want to get to Saul, not... No, forget it. It just seems that all I can do is insult you, isn't it? Just forget I said anything. Let's just get on with what we were doing.
How can I help? No, not bothering you. Not exactly. I've been thinking about what the Jedi Council said about the two of us. There is a bond between us. I do not dispute that. I can feel it, as I'm sure you can. The nature of that bond and its effect on our mission remain in question. please. I'm a Jedi. Such feelings, such attractions are, well, they're beneath me, quite frankly. I admit I find you intriguing. I find your command of the Force intriguing, but my interest in you is purely academic. Surely you can understand why. Our fates are strongly connected. So connected that a literal bond has been forged between us. I saw your service records when you were transferred aboard the Ender Spire, but nothing beyond that. I know very little about you. I'd like to ask you some questions, given our relationship. I was referring to the bond we share, the one the Jedi Council spoke of. If I was actually interested in you, rest assured I could come up with a much better approach than this. Touched a nerve? No. Getting on my nerves? Most definitely. I suppose this is what you men consider being witty. Now, are you going to answer my questions, or would you rather just keep annoying me? Don't worry, these are simple questions, nothing too intrusive. First, what kind of background do you have? Good. On which planet were you born? Excellent. Your current age is? I see you intend to be childish about this. I guess I won't get anywhere continuing our discussion right now, will I? I suppose I'll just have to speak to you again later. Hopefully you'll behave a little less like a little boy and a little more like a man.
Yes, what's on your mind? Dantooine's a boring place. Well, that's all I can think of, at any rate. You got it.
How can I help? I do? How did you know? A Kinrath pup. It most certainly is not. I am a Jedi, remember? I have far too much mental discipline to reveal what goes on inside my mind with such obvious physical clues. My thoughts remain hidden, including whatever my feelings are for you. Whatever I feel... whatever I think about you. That is you... Why must you be so impossibly infuriating? You know very well what I am really talking about. I am referring to the bond between us, the one the Jedi Council spoke of. Our connection allows us glimpses into each other's mind. We can feel some of what the other feels, and what I feel within you troubles me. A Padawan must receive considerable training. They must learn to control their emotions and darker impulses. Often it takes years before using the Force can be considered safe. The fact that you are so strong in the Force and have had such relatively little training could have terrible consequences. For you, and for everyone around you. This is not a joke. The choices you make could affect both our destinies, not to mention the fate of the Republic and the entire galaxy. There is much at stake. Thankfully, you've exhibited a degree of compassion and self-control up to this point. I sincerely hope you can maintain these traits in the future. We must all resist the influence of the dark side. It's everything we are fighting against. This is doubly important for you, with your natural affinity for the Force. I'm sorry if I come across as harsh, but I am concerned for you, for our mission, and for myself as well. Our destinies are intertwined. Everything one of us does will have consequences for the other. Any reckless behavior on your part is likely to affect me as well. It is not true. I am worried about myself, but also about you. I would rather see neither of us come to any harm. Your power could be a gift or a curse. When you need guidance or advice or support, I will do my best to help you stay on the path of the light. I only hope I have the wisdom to help you through the dark times. But for now, we should return to our mission.
Ah, you have returned, young Padawan. Have you discovered what it was that Revan and Malak sought in those ruins? This news of a Starforge is disturbing. Action is required, but we must not do so in haste. We must discuss recent events in light of this new information.
We should consult the Jedi archives to see if there's any mention of the Star Forge and what it might do. We must learn why Revan and Malak sought it out.
Return to your ship with Bastila, and we will summon you when we are done. Padawan, you have done well in discovering the star map hidden within the ancient ruins. But there is more you must do in the battle against Malak and the Sith. We Jedi know victory over the Sith will not come through martial might. The Council has a mission for you, Padawan.
I've consulted our vast archives in an effort to discover the nature of this Star Forge, but all my efforts have been in vain.
Still, the Council are in agreement. The Star Forge must be found. Revan and Malak sought it out when they began their tragic fall. The Star Forge is surely a powerful tool of the dark side.
The star map in the ruins showed you 4 planets, but it was incomplete. It did not show the location of the Star Forge itself. We believe there may be similar star maps on other planets. Each star map is likely a small piece of a larger puzzle. Find the star maps on Kashyyyk, Tatooine, Manan, and Korriban, and we believe they will lead you to the Star Forge. The Jedi numbers have been ravaged by this war, by defections to Malak's cause, and by Sith assassins. But we realize the importance of this mission. Yet if we send a company of Jedi Knights with you, we would surely draw the full attention of Malak and the Sith, dooming your efforts to failure. Secrecy is our best defense against the Sith, but it would be foolish to send you on this quest without someone to aid you, young Padawan. Bastila will accompany you, for there is a powerful connection between you two. A connection that might be the key to unraveling the mysteries uncovered by Revan. And Juhani has also asked to accompany you. After long deliberation, we have granted her request.
Juhani nearly fell to the dark side. Perhaps her presence will serve as a reminder to you of the dangers of that path.
Of course, those who aided you on Taris will also come. They possess skills you may find useful in your quest. Remember that secrecy and discretion are paramount to your success. You will not be able to hide the fact that you are a Jedi, nor should you. But the true nature of your mission must not reach Malak's ears. You may return here at any time. Dantooine will be a sanctuary for you, a safe haven. Here you can find supplies and whatever advice or other aid we may give you.
You can leave whenever you wish. The sooner the better. The longer you wait, the stronger Malak becomes. But first, a warning, young Padawan. The lure of the dark side is difficult to resist. I fear this quest to find the Star Forge could lead you down an all too familiar path.
The fate of the galaxy is in your hands, young Padawan. We pray you are up to the challenge. May the Force be with you.
Sure.
How can I help? Then I suggest we move on.
I feel I must apologize for the way I acted towards you before in the Grove. It was wrong of me. I am sorry for attacking you. I am sorry for thinking you would only try to kill me. I hope that by helping you in your task, I may redeem myself in your eyes, and in my own. Thank you. It is most reassuring to know that you can forgive me, even though I tried to take your life. I can only hope that, in our time journeying together, I will succeed.
How may I be of assistance to you, Padawan? What is it you would like to speak to me about?
I thank you for your concern, but I am still a bit shaken. I have been thinking about myself, about KotOR, and about my fall to the dark side. I keep thinking that it was my anger that drove me that far, that nearly damned me. I look inside myself now and I can still see it. I still feel it. More time would do me good. Time to distance myself from that anger. I think that is why the Council agreed to send me with you. They think, perhaps, that in your company, I will be able to free myself from it. I thank you for your concern and your acceptance. I will strive to prove that I am worthy of your company and trust.
How may I be of... What...
How I came to be a Jedi? I am sure you would not find it very interesting. Are you sure you would like to hear? Well, it goes back a number of years. Back on my homeworld, we did not see Jedi very often, especially where I lived. It was not the homeworld of the KotOR that I lived on. My parents had long fled from that place, and perhaps that is a story for another time. Rather, it was a human hive world that I was raised on, the hind end of space, a pit of a world, to be sure, where Jedi rarely tread, but we had heard of them. Well, everyone had, so that is not to be unexpected. Champions of truth, defenders of justice, heroes of the Republic. It was very easy for a child to be enthralled by their image, their mystique. Maybe I was one of those children. Yes, I did. When I saw a Jedi for the first time, they lived up to everything my imagination had created them to be. I was awed, and maybe a little enamored. They were quite striking, especially the tales of their leader. From that moment on, I knew that I would have to try to become a Jedi, to lift myself out of the rut I had been living in for years, and to make a real difference, as the Jedi were. The foolish delusions of a child, but this child made it happen. As soon as I was able, I left my world and went in search of them. I found them and was accepted. I had been living my dream on Dantooine for several years before you came, although perhaps I was not entirely ready for it, or not completely suited to the task. Otherwise, I would not have fallen. But thanks to you, I have been redeemed. Perhaps I may yet live to see that dream of mine come true. Come, there is much we should do. Let us not waste time talking. Action is what is needed.
How may I...
Dantooine. Dantooine has been my home for a number of years, ever since I started my training with the Jedi. It is a lightly populated planet, mostly focused on agriculture and hunting of the wild beasts that roam its plains. The most populous form of animals on its surface are the Irias, herd beasts that are normally quite tame, but can be violent when provoked, and the Kathhounds, vicious pack predators. Kathhounds do not normally attack people, except when it is a pack of them ambushing a lone individual. But recently, They have been much more aggressive. I am to blame for that, I believe. But enough of my self-recrimination. I should not dwell on the past, but rather look to the future. How may I be of assistance to you, Padawan? What is it you would like? I am wary of the Mandalorian. I do not trust him. I have never trusted Mandalorians. They drove my parents from KotOR, aided the Sith, and attacked the Republic. Their warped notions of honor may provoke them to do even more heinous acts. I do not know why you tolerate his presence on your ship. In truth, he has had some merit so far, but I am not certain it is worth the risk you take. His kind may prove to be a danger to the galaxy again, but this man himself has proven acceptable so far. Merely keep your distance from him and watch him, so that he does not betray us. Spoken to him? No, I could not. Mandalorians are vicious of temper and easily provoked. I would not want to tempt his wrath. I am not a coward. I fear no one and nothing, but you have not had to flee the destruction of your homeworld either. Human, the Mandalorians came and overran my world. They slaughtered my race. I cannot forget what they have done, or forgive. You are right, of course. You always seem to know what you speak of. This simmering anger and hatred for the Mandalores seems to have found a place in my heart, though. Sometimes I worry. But still, it eats away at me. I worry that I may yet again fall and endanger everything I hold dear, if that time does come. And if I do, threaten our task, it is only right that you should strike me down. If I fall and endanger you and the galaxy, you must do what is right. If my death will defeat Malak, then that is what must be done. But we are becoming too morbid, too soon. We should not talk like this now. There is much yet we can do, but we shall talk later, I am sure.
Greetings, young Padawan. I trust your training goes well. With power comes responsibility, and only by learning discipline and sacrifice can we truly learn to master our potential. I wish you luck in your training, apprentice. There is much you must yet learn. May the Force be with you.
This is private property. By what authority are you trespassing on this estate? You have come from the Jedi Council. Master Matali wishes to speak with you. I will inform him that you are here. Remain at this location until he arrives.
My protocol droid tells me you are here on behalf of the Council. I was beginning to think my demands had been ignored.
though I think your time would be better spent interrogating the Sandrels as to the whereabouts of my son Shen. Many years ago, I brought my family here to Dantooine to escape the crush of humanity on the KotOR worlds. Soon after we settled here, the Sandrels arrived, and they have been a plague upon my house ever since. The injustices the Sandrels have committed against the Matales are far too numerous to name. But the Council is well aware of our many disputes. Recently, I discovered several Sandrel droids trespassing on my land. I have no idea what nefarious purpose lay behind their arrival. My own assassination, perhaps? Destruction of my property? Maybe a simple spy mission? I wasn't about to find out. My own security droids destroyed the invaders. Not a single one survived. It was shortly after this incident that Shen, my only son and heir to the Matali estate, vanished. Obviously, Nurik, the unscrupulous head of the Sandrel clan, has abducted my son in retaliation for the destruction of his droids. Why does the Council insist on stalling? The life of my son is at stake. Is it possible? Yes, of course. Now I understand. I am a man of the world, Jedi. I know how things are done. I will make a contribution of 1,000 credits to the Council in exchange for rescuing Shen from the Sandrels. I will present the credits directly to you, of course. Whether the Council ever learns of this donation is completely up to you. Nevertheless, my offer still stands. 1,000 credits for Shen's safe return. Know, however, that I will not sit idly by much longer. Eventually, I will take whatever action is necessary to rescue my son, including razing the entire Sandrel estate. Until you find Shen, Jedi, we have nothing further to discuss. I suggest you hurry south to their estate, lest I take matters into my own hands.
How can I help? Then I suggest we move on. How may I be of...
Of course. What is it?
The Force fights with me!
I'm here.
Yes?
Your wish?
Yes? I'm here.
Your wish?
I'm here.
Yes?
Yes?
I'm here.
Yes?
Thank you for saving me, Master Jedi. I am C-842, a personal assistance droid. As I said, I am C-842, a personal assistance droid. Although in recent months, the assistance I render seems to have taken on a disproportionate significance. Did she send you to find me? Please do not tell her you saw me. Yes, but I have my reasons. I'm afraid my owner became a bit too attached to me. Obsessed, even. She tried to treat me as her dead husband. It was not healthy for her. You don't want to know. She is obsessed. She rarely sees other people and appears to be fixated on me as her husband. She was becoming more and more insular. I thought it best that I leave. She may meet other real people this way. In fact, that was the reason I came here and sought out those cat hounds. I think it would be best if I were no longer a factor. She would meet new people, living people. Please, will you destroy me? Thank you, kind sir. You have my eternal gratitude.
Sure.
Your wish? What can I do? Your wish? Yes?
What?
I'm here.
Yes?
Sure.
I will be your doom! For the Order!
Yes?
Your wish?
Yes?
What can I do?
What is it?
What?
I'm here.
Yeah?
What?
This is private property. By what authority are you trespassing on this estate? Cassus is dead, and it is as we feared. You should speak to Nurek yourself. He will want to question you on the details of his son's death. Nurek left orders he was not to be disturbed, but given the circumstances, I will make an exception. Go into the main hall. Nurek will meet with you there.
I have been informed by my protocol droid that you have news about my son Cassus. Cassus is dead? I was afraid of this. Yet in my heart I knew it must be true. What happened to my son? Cath hounds? I was so certain the Matali family was to blame. But this changes nothing. My own son is dead. Why should I shed one tear about the disappearance of my bitter enemy's son?
Typical. Anything to continue the feud which has become so customary to you people.
I must ask you something, though it is difficult for me. My son had a diary, his private, personal thoughts. Now that he is gone, I have nothing else to remember him by. Please, the diary means more to me than it ever could to you. I will give you 100 credits for its return. I thank you for this. The diary is all I have left of my son. We have nothing further to discuss. Please, leave me to my grief.
You are here from the Council, are you not? Looking for Shen Matale? My name is Rahasia. Nurek is my father. He has not been himself since Cassus disappeared. He is mad with grief, and he is convinced the Matales are responsible. He's not thinking rationally. Cassus is dead? It is as I feared. Though I'm relieved the Matales are not responsible. My father is a good man. When my mother died, he raised me and my brother by himself. He loves his children, and we love him. I just don't want you to judge him too harshly. You must understand that Father has been under a terrible strain. I have no wish to disobey him, but there are matters where even my father's authority is not absolute. My father has kidnapped Shen Matale. He is holding him prisoner here in the compound. He feels this is a way to get back at the Matales, a way to get even for the disappearance of my brother Cassus.
I see. Well, there is the answer we seek. The Jedi Council should be informed of this at once.
No! Since Cassus went missing, my father has become unstable. He might hurt him if you do that. He no longer even cares if the Matales are responsible for what happened to Cassus. I am afraid my father will simply kill Shen out of a mad, misguided lust for vengeance. Shen is an innocent victim in all this. My father is not a bad man, but his grief has driven him to madness. He must be stopped. Please, find Shen and rescue him before my father does something he will regret forever. I would take you to the prison, but I cannot let my father see me with you. Take this key. It will open an unguarded door at the rear of the estate. You and Shen can make your escape through there. There are many security droids guarding the halls. Please hurry. You are Shen's only hope. Shen and I, we have been taught by our families to hate each other, just for being related to our fathers. But I met Shen alone one day in the city, away from his father. And Shen was so charming, so sweet. He didn't care at all that I was a Sandral. He just accepted me for who I was, with no reservations. We talked and met again over months and fell in love. My brother Cassus met him too, and they were beginning to become friends. But then this whole mess had to happen. Please find Shen and free him. You are my only hope.